In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can make a logo and infuse it with tons of strategy that you just created from the strategy carryout. So what is the logo in relation to the carryout? So the logo, a lot of the times people think, and clients mainly, they really are the ones that are thinking that the logo is the entire carryout. The logo is the brand, right? But really what the logo is the logo is just a tool inside of your carryout. It's a really important tool nonetheless, something like a drill or an axe, something really, really important, but it's not the entirety of it. So why do you even need to infuse a logo with a strategy? Why can't you just make something pretty off of the voice that you've created? Well, really what you're doing with the logo is you're trying to communicate the values in the voice that you need. And we've already hit a lot of the steps that you need to do that, but there's further clarification that you need to hit on when making the logo. So let's get into making the logo. How do you even do it? So let's first refresh what we already have and the things that you're going to use and pull out from the strategy document in order to really create a successful and strategized logo. So you have the font already picked out. This is a font that you should have agreed with your client that they understand and that they know this is the font that's going to be their main header and the font that you are going to base the logo off of. You also have the brand voice, values, personality, and then a few design solutions. And these are going to help you in a little bit, and I'll explain how in a second. So what do you still need to communicate and convey through the logo? So like I said, you already have the font already chosen as a base, but you need to figure out, okay, what else do we need to communicate it? We need it to communicate more of the values in the voice. So how do you actually do that though? So what I want you to do, and fill this out, write it down somewhere whenever you're making a logo, but what I need you to do is go to the font that you have already chosen and ask yourself, what is the font choice actually communicating in the first place? Is it communicating love? Is it communicating kindness? Is it communicating honesty? Write down everything that the font choice that you've chosen by itself is communicating. Then in the next column, what I want you to do is I want you to write down what it's not communicating. What do we still need to communicate through the logo or through other things that is not going to be communicated through the logo? So once you identify what's being communicated and what's not, you are going to figure out, okay, what are the things that are not being communicated that I don't want to include in the logo? Because the logo can't have everything we want it to have as much as we can. But if there's a few things that we could have the logo really, really just hit totally home on, what are those things that it's going to communicate? So for example, this is Emma Natter's logo that I did for her. And strongly, it really, really communicates storytelling, confidence, artisticness, nerdiness, savvy, and success. Now, it does not communicate, and you'll notice in some of the things that it does not communicate, it's not fully not communicating it, it's just maybe not communicating it as strongly as the others. It's just like, it's hinting towards it. It helps one of these voice or values along. Like it's not like it's contradicting one of the voice and values that we've chosen, but it's not necessarily like the strong point. So it's not communicating simplicity and clarity. It's not communicating nerdiness. We still need a little bit more earnest and savviness. We still need lots of like freedom feelings, and we need more audience, or we need more honesty. So those are things that I'm going to communicate in other ways beyond the logo. Like I have alternate logos, I have sub fonts and images, I have the website that we're creating. Remember, this is just one tool in their toolbox. So when you're making the logo, these are just a few things to help you communicate the values in the voice. Okay, so now that you understand where the font already is and what feelings it needs to communicate further on, how do we communicate those? So what we do is we personalize the logo. So we're going to look for a little bit of the personalization opportunities here. There's lots of different things that you can do. So you can see like in this option or in the one on the left, the little personalization and customization is a little bit funky. The one in the middle is makes it feel more modern. And the one on the right is feminine. So you're just going to basically look at the words as shapes. And I just try to see, okay, how can I make this shape more funky? How can I make the shape more modern? How can I make it more feminine? Whatever it is that you're now trying to communicate, look for those personalization opportunities. So how far do you personalize or customize the logo to, though? So when you're making a logo, you really have to have it be at a safe balance between safety and disruptive. If it's too disruptive, then it's going to clash with everything else. It's going to be memorable in a really bad way. People are going to be like, ooh, like it hurts my eyes to look at this. I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want anything to do with this brand. And it just feels like way too out there to the point where it's almost illegible. If it's too safe, then it's very forgettable and people don't associate that logo with any feeling or with anything even really in particular. Strategy 2 that's going to help you personalize and customize this to the font, to the value and voice that you need it to, is to be suggestive, but don't be super obvious here. So a lot of, like, you'll notice like restaurant companies, they'll use like a spoon or a fork in their logos to be like, yeah, we're doing dinner, like we're a food restaurant. And the reason why this doesn't really work is because, or why nobody should ever do this, is because first thing is it's not really memorable and there's no room for growth or change. So not saying that a restaurant is going to change from a restaurant, but and maybe they want to expand into another industry or they want to have a little add-on or sign-on or things, like they don't have that room to grow and change. The next reason why it's not really great is because it's not memorable, and their competitors, like if the competitor could have like that same thing be a part of their logo, their competitors could have a fork and a spoon be a part of their logo. Like if it's something that could be like generally distributed across the industry, then it's not necessarily something that should be put in the logo because it's just not memorable enough. So for example, like with the Amazon logo, you can see like they have the little arrow for A to Z showing that they kind of have everything on there, and it also kind of like looks like a little bit of a smile. With a FedEx logo, a lot of people don't even know this, but there's that little arrow in there, and it's just symbolizing like they take things places and they're really, really quick, they're on the move all the time, that kind of thing.